Today, I'm taking over Real Madrid because they're an absolute shambles. They might be second in La Liga, but they're getting absolutely carried by Mbappe. Vinicius has been inconsistent, Rodrigo is not stepping up, and half the team is either injured or playing out of position. Come on, 3 of our best defenders are out injured, man. But don't you worry, I'm going to bring Madrid back to the very top by winning them the Champions League, but more importantly, win them their first ever treble to once again make them the world's best team. And as I am the brand new Real Madrid manager, I have been given 10 seasons to go ahead and fix them and win them their first ever treble. And I cannot lie, I feel very blessed as I have some of the best players in world football, like Vinicius Jr., Kylian Mbappe, and Jude Bellingham. But we did take over Real Madrid sitting in second in La Liga, as well as sitting 7th place in the Champions League, so it's not too bad. But like I mentioned, the problem with Madrid is that they're getting carried. Mbappe has 29 goals, while the rest of the side does not even have double digits. And that is embarrassing, as Real Madrid used to have the Galacticos, and now they're just Mbappe FC. And to finish off this season, I currently think there are 3 different problems I need to solve at Madrid in order to go ahead and start winning trophies and make Madrid the world's best team again. The first problem being finding the perfect formation. And as of their last game against Sevilla, Real Madrid are playing a 4-3-3 holding, as this is the lineup they really did field out. And yes, of course, it looks good with Vinny playing in his preferred position and Rodrigo, even though out of form, still in the lineup. However, I don't think this is the approach I want to take for these next 10 seasons. And boys, I think I found the perfect formation, and that is the 4-2-2-2, having 2 center attacking mids and 2 forwards. And if I'm being honest, I think this is our best lineup under these tactics, having Arda Güler playing at number 10 again, where he shined at the beginning of the season. And that also allows us to Jude Bellingham not to play out of position and also play as another number 10. And we get to keep Mbappe as striker, but also on the left where he prefers to be, with the only player really playing out of position is Vinicius Jr. up top. But of course, we do have injuries like Trent Alexander-Arnold and Eder Militao, so the likes of Rudiger and Asensio will be taking their place. And now with our tactic problem solved, the second problem we need to solve is controlling the egos on the side. And well, when it comes to egos, there are 2 players we need to deal with, and it's Vinicius Jr. and surprisingly is Rodrigo, but for 2 different reasons. First of all, Rodrigo walks into my office and says, "Look boss, I am a Real Madrid legend. I won them the Champions League, so I would like to have a contract that is being paid the same as Mbappe." And you know what? Vinny is right. He is a Real Madrid legend, and he wants to be getting paid $610,000 a week, just like Kylian Mbappe. And boys, under normal circumstances, I would be giving him that contract. But Vinicius Jr. has not been himself this season with only 5 goals and 7 assists. So I go ahead and tell Vinicius Jr., if you want that $30 million contract, you need to go ahead and score 30 goals by the end of the season. Vinicius then says, "I will do my best, but if you do not give me that contract regardless, I will be leaving the club at the start of next season." And with Vinny dealt with, we now have to deal with Rodrigo. Now Rodrigo's biggest ego problem right now is he does lack confidence. So I go ahead and welcome Rodrigo into my office and I tell him, "Look Rodrigo, you've had a rough season. How about we give you a refresher and convert you to the striker position?" Rodrigo says, "You know what, I'm down to go ahead and give it a try, but to be honest, I'm not sure how much longer I'll stick around if things don't work out." So of course, I've converted Rodrigo to a striker and he went up a +1 to an 85, and he will serve as a backup for Vinny and Kylian Mbappe. And now with hopefully all of those ego problems out of the way, we can go ahead and deal with the final problem, and is bringing in signings in January to help save our season. And because we're now in January, that means Endrick will be leaving for a 6-month loan to Olympique Lyonnais. Hopefully he can come back and maybe one day start next to Mbappe to win us the treble. And well, when it comes to the signings here in January, I would really like to sign a brand new center back to pair up next to Dean Huijsen, as Antonio Rudiger is very injury prone, so is David Alaba. And boys, let me tell you, there's many options like Ibrahima Konate, Marc Guehi, and much more. And the second position I want to go ahead and get is actually another number 8. We currently have Federico Valverde, and the only person to back him up is Dani Ceballos, and I'm sorry, he's not Madrid quality. So when it comes to those 3 players, I have actually transfer listed to try and get a transfer fee. But let's go ahead and see what signings I can bring in. Boys, I have made a short list of some of the world's best center backs. We have the likes of Marc Guehi, Dayot Upamecano, Ibrahima Konate, and Nico Schlotterbeck. However, when it comes to Upamecano and Guehi, they have both rejected us, as Guehi wants to go ahead and stay in England, and Upamecano believes he can win it all at Bayern this season. So that leaves us with Nico Schlotterbeck and Ibrahima Konate. Now, Ibrahima Konate wants to go to Real Madrid. However, this season, he's been terrible, while Nico Schlotterbeck is very underrated at Dortmund, but he's also linked to Barcelona. Would he rather come to Real Madrid? But the good news is he did not mind joining Real Madrid, as for 43 million plus Antonio Rudiger, we have brought brought in one of the world's best center backs, and Nico Schlotterbeck. And I can't lie, as he joins the starting 11, he's going to be a great partner for Dean Huijsen up until Eder Militao comes back. But of course, that now leaves us to find somebody that could be a great backup to Federico Valverde. And now when it comes to that backup number 8, I want somebody who can run all around the park. I want somebody who could become a future leader, and somebody that brings no ego problems to the club as he just loves football. And of course, I found 3 perfect number 8s that fit that criteria. The first player we have is the best option in Enzo Fernandez. This guy's exactly like Fede Valverde, runs all around the pitch, and is a very good footballer who captains Chelsea from time to time. The second best option we do have is Kobbie Mainoo at Man United. He is currently frozen out by Ruben Amorim, and he'd be a perfect number 8 backup to Fede Valverde. And the final option we do have is more of a risk, but it's wonderkid Ayoub Buadi. He's primarily a number 8, and because he is so young, we can mold him into that perfect captain material. And well, when it comes to Enzo Fernandez, he actually rejected us. He says he would love to join Real Madrid one day, but right now loves a project at Chelsea. So that leaves us with Buadi and Kobbie Mainoo. And I have made my decision. I'm taking the risk to go ahead and go for Buadi. Somebody we can transform into the perfect midfielder. Can help us win the treble in these next 10 seasons. And it only costed us 25 million, man. I know some people who spent 100 million on some flops. So now with the brand new signings, this is the lineup and the squad that will be going for the rest of the season. Let's go ahead and see if we can make a comeback in La Liga and maybe even compete for the Champions League this year. But as we're seeming to the end of season number 0, winning the treble is not the only thing I want to do in these next 10 seasons. I also want the team to go ahead and win 5 golden boots in these next 10 seasons. I want to do something almost impossible, and that is to go invincible in La Liga. And finally, currently Real Madrid and Barcelona both have 12 Ballon d'Or winners each by the end of the 10 seasons, or by the time we win the treble, to make sure we have more Ballon d'Or winners than our El Clasico rivals. But sadly, at the end of the season, we still finished in 2nd place. Barcelona were way too good, and the Supercopa was actually won by Atletico. Simeone finally won something, and we bottled the Copa del Rey final against Atletico. We cannot be losing to Atletico. But actually, when it comes to the Champions League, this team has made the UCL final the chance to win my first ever trophy. And what a season for Kylian Mbappe. 47 goals and 7 assists. He could potentially put us in the lead in the Ballon d'Ors versus Barcelona. But when it comes to Vinicius Jr., he got 27 goals. He didn't reach the 30, so I'm not sure if I'll give him that $30 million contract. Jude Bellingham had a great season in his new position, while Arda Güler finished the season off strong. And our squad is looking very strong for our upcoming final against Inter. Surely I can win my first Champions League. But it's now time for the UCL final. Remember, the treble was not on, but can I win my first trophy? And no, it's a 2-0 loss, as Thuram and Frattesi deny me of my first trophy. Boys, the news gets even worse, as Vinicius Jr. has submitted a transfer request, not even giving me the option of giving him a brand new contract. As he walks into my office and says, "Boss, I'm sorry you took too long. I don't feel valued here in Madrid. I will be leaving at the start of next season." But hey boys, at least there's good news, as Mbappe has won the Golden Boots, getting our first one. But at least we got our first Ballon d'Or winner, as Mbappe finally wins his. Low-key, with 0 trophies won this year, it might have been a robbery. But at least we can end season 0 strong with 1 Golden Boot winner and 1 Ballon d'Or winner. Make sure to subscribe and comment down below if you think Mbappe will win it in real life. And Merry Christmas as well. And to kick off my first full season, things do not get any better, as FC Barcelona have brought in Erling Haaland for the next couple years. Meaning winning Golden Boots won't be easy, as Mbappe will compete with Erling Haaland. But of course, we do know Vinicius will be leaving. However, isn't the only one, as Rodrigo has also submitted a transfer request, because he came into my office earlier and says, "Boss, I only scored 4 goals last season. I just think it's time for me to move on from Real Madrid for now." So yes, boys, we'll be losing both of our Brazilian legends, and a new era here in Madrid will begin. So boys, it has happened. Rodrigo has gone to PSG for 77 million, and Vinicius Jr. has left to Chelsea for 150 million, and we also got to sell Ferland Mendy for 19 million to Atletico. And you know what? I'm not too upset, because our team is still looking incredible. We still have the likes of Kylian Mbappe and Jude Bellingham, and Edric has come back now at a 79 overall. I think I'm gonna give him a chance to start for the entire season. And we still have plenty of young talents like Gonzalo Garcia, Buadi, Franco Masantuono, and even Eder Militao to help us out. So I'm very excited for this new era of Real Madrid that's coming without Rodrigo and Vinicius Jr. And I think the players we need to go ahead and sign is a backup center attacking mid. We do have Franco Masantuono, but I think we need to replace Brahim Diaz, as his era as a Madrid player is over for me. We definitely need to sign a new backup center back, as we only have Militao, and we need at least 1 more. So let's see what kind of talents I could bring in for those 2 positions. And for the center back position, I have made an incredible signing. For 45 million, I have brought in Lenny Euro from Man United. Well, let me tell you why it's a perfect signing. 1, he absolutely loves Real Madrid. 2, he accepted a contract to be a sporadic team player. And 3, he reminds me of Rafael Varane. And Varane also came in as a teenager and eventually became a Real Madrid legend. However, when it comes to the camp position, there are 3 wonder kids as shortlisted. The first option is Rodrigo Moura, a Portuguese wonder kid. Could potentially become the next Ronaldo. However, he is playing at Porto and hasn't proven himself in a top 5 league yet. The second option is Kenan Yildiz. He's Turkish just like Arda Güler and has been carrying Juventus in real life. And the final option is former Madrid player Nico Paz. He's been the best player in the Serie A this season and we know Madrid want to bring him back as close as January in real life. And boys, I have made my decision. For 75 million, we're bringing back Nico Paz and it's absolutely brilliant as he accepted a rotation role. And who knows, at an 83 overall, if Güler or Bellingham don't do well, he will go ahead and overtake their position. And our brand new signings have joined the squad and I'm telling you, man, we may have lost 2 of the world's best players, but we have an exciting future here at Real Madrid. Let's see how we do this season as we went ahead and sold Brahim Diaz out of Real Madrid. And it's another great season for Kylian Mbappe with 39 goals and 12 assists, man. While Jude Bellingham got 21 and 8, Endrick had a great first season as a starter. I think I made the right decision backing him. While the likes of Arda Güler, Fede Valverde, and Carreras also had great seasons. However, Nico Paz didn't get as much game time. We need to make sure he does next season. And the growth of the squad is looking incredible as Slaughterberg is now at an 88 overall. And almost the entire defense is above an 85. Mbappe and Bellingham, of course, are 2 best players in the world. While Endrick grew to an 83 and Arda Güler is about to become one of the world's best. But did we win any trophies? And yes, we have won our first La Liga title as manager, but we missed out on the Super Copa again, man. And yes, we also won the Copa del Rey. The treble is on in my first ever full season. But in the Champions League, we got knocked out in the round of 16 to Arsenal, as the final is going to be decided between Roma and Liverpool. But boys, there is good news as Mbappe has won the first battle, getting our second golden boot already. And boys, karma has struck as Vinicius Jr. has won the Ballon d'Or with Chelsea. At least it wasn't a Barca player. Going into season 3, things are looking good as we have 2 golden boot winners. Still yet to win the treble or go invincible and have the lead of 1 Ballon d'Or over Barca. And to kick off season number 2, our squad is looking great. I don't think we need to make any signings. However, 2 players have come into my office. The first one is Franco Masantuono. He says he loves Real Madrid. He doesn't want to leave. They need his game time and wishes to go out on loan. And of course, I'm going to grant that wish. And the second player that's come in is actually Thibaut Courtois and has said, hey boss, just a heads up, I will be retiring at the end of the season. Start training Andre Luna a little bit more or start scouting some goalkeepers for my replacement. So I've gone ahead and low listed Franco Masantuono. And of course, Thibaut Courtois will be retiring at the end of the season. And I have a goal set for Lunin. I'm not sure what we're going to do about the goalkeeper situation because we could bring in some superstars like Gianluigi Donnarumma or David Raya, or Andre Luna can go ahead and become the starter by the start of next season. So I'm gonna go ahead and give him the goalkeeper development plan, and if Andre Luna does not reach an 86 overall, I'm sorry, but I'm signing a brand new keeper. And there goes Franco Masantuono as he's going on loan for the next 2 seasons at RB Leipzig. So now with everything out of the way, let's see how we do this season. Can we win more trophies, but more importantly, can we get a golden boot winner again and another Ballon d'Or winner? However, this year was not our year as Barcelona won La Liga and we failed to win our first Super Copa, and we also did not win the Copa de España, 0 trophies in Spain. But yes, boys, we're back in the Champions League final. We need to win this trophy. It's the only one we might win. But when it comes to the golden boot, Erling Haaland has won it this time around. It's going to be a long 10 seasons to try and win 5. But it seems like the squad continues to perform. 38 for Mbappe, 25 for Endrick, 21 for Bellingham, 14 and 13 for Arda Güler. But boys, when it comes to Andre Lunin, I think he left the club. And yes, it is confirmed. It says he is transferred as somebody came in for him and he went through with it. And man, that does suck because he reached an 87 overall. He would have started for us. I guess we're gonna have to sign a new keeper at the start of the season. But there is one thing left to do. Can we win our first Champions League? It's still not the treble, but can we go ahead and do it? And it's a 1-0 victory as Mbappe scores to win us our first UCL. But unfortunately, Mbappe doesn't win the Ballon d'Or and Barca make it 13-13 as Haaland wins it. Heavily is gonna be something else. And now in season number 3, of course, Thibaut Courtois has retired and Mestre is the only keeper we have. So we need to sign another goalkeeper. However, there is bad news as a superstar player from our team has come into the office and says, boss, I think my time here at Real Madrid has come to an end, but I'm in the shadow of Erling Haaland and Kylian Mbappe, and if I ever want to win the Ballon d'Or, I cannot be in the same league as them. And boys, that player was Arda Güler, who's at a 92 overall at 23. I respect that he wants to win the Ballon d'Or, but it sucks that he's leaving. But the good thing is Nico Pass can finally begin to start. And there we have it. Arda Güler is leaving to Juventus in the Serie A for upwards of 200 million. It's sad to see him go, but at least we have Nico Pass to replace him. But it's now time to decide on a keeper, as I found 3 perfect ones. The first one is the world's best keeper, Gianluigi Donnarumma. Yes, I know he's at Man City, but we know if we give him enough money, he'll come to Madrid. The second option we do have is Diego Costa, a goalkeeper in his absolute prime and will probably continue to grow. He might be the best option. And the final option is the next Thibaut Courtois in Mike Penders. Yes, he's an 83 overall. He's very low rated, but if we sign him and he's good, he'll be our keeper for the rest of this takeover. And I've decided on the Portuguese man. For 100 million, we are bringing in Diego Costa. At just 28, he could be our keeper for the next 5 to 6 years. So that's our keeper problem solved. And this is our brand new starting 11 with Nico Pass finally becoming a starter. We currently do not have a backup cam as Mario Martin can only play center mid at CDM, but I think we'll be just fine. Masantuono comes back in a year's time. So let's go ahead and win more trophies, more golden boots, and hopefully a Ballon d'Or winner to take the lead over Barca again. And surprisingly, Endrick was our top goal scorer this year with 29 goals, while Kylian Mbappe had an off year with 25 and 5. However, the goal numbers of everybody really worries me. I feel like we didn't have a great season. But regardless, this squad continues to grow. Mbappe's at a 94 overall. Endrick's about to hit a 90. Jude Bellingham is the world's best player. Well, it seems Eder Militao has finally won his place back in the starting 11. But yes, we have returned to winning La Liga. We finally have won our first Super Copa, but we failed to win the Copa de España. No treble for us this year. But when it comes to the Champions League, Barcelona have won it, as we got knocked out in the quarters to AS Roma, losing 6-7. And no, sadly, we do not get a Golden Boot winner, as Leo of all people win it. And no, boys, Lamine Yamal wins the Ballon d'Or, which means Barcelona takes the lead, 14-13 Ballon d'Or winners. And to kick off season number 4, there's bad news as Eder Militao has joined PSG. I think he ran out of a contract and I forgot to accept it, man. But the bad news continues as 2 players have come into my offers. The first one being Federico Valverde says, you know what, boss, I'm running out of legs. I would like for you to sign another number 8, as Boadi has not been the best player yet, as Fede Valverde wants to finish his career as a backup. And I can't lie, boys, that's kind of crazy. He's 30 years old, but with all the positions he played, his legs probably wore out. But the second player has come in, makes it even worse, as Dean Huijsen has come into the club. He says, when I first joined Real Madrid, I thought I was playing for the best team in Spain, but it looks like that is now Barcelona. I'm sorry, I will be leaving the club. And boys, Dean Huijsen has done it. He has pulled a reverse Figo, as he has forced a move to FC Barcelona for 80 million. That leaves us with Lenny Euro and Slutterbeck as our 2 only center backs. But this is what our starting 11 and squad is looking like as of right now. The only good news we have is that Franco Masantuono is back in the squad. So now that does leaves us to sign 2 brand new center backs, whether it's 1 starter and 1 bench, or 2 bench, because Lenny Euro might be able to start now. And we also need to go ahead and bring in a backup number 8, as Federico Valverde wants to sit on the bench and Tchouameni is more of a 6. And the first decision we need to make is go ahead and choose which number 8 we're gonna sign. The first option we do have is Joao Neves, who's part of an amazing midfield in PSG. The second option we do have is Enzo Fernandez. He said he was interested in Madrid, but at the time he loved the Chelsea project. And the final option we do have is Jude Bellingham's brother and Joe Bellingham. What a link up that would be. And unfortunately, Joao Neves has rejected the chance to join Madrid, as he did mention to me he respects that he comes in for him, but he's a lifelong PSG player. However, the good news is Joe Bellingham and Enzo Fernandez have both accepted offers. Who should we go for? And at the end of the day, I've decided for 110 million to bring in Enzo Fernandez. Linking up the 2 Bellingham brothers would be brilliant, but at just an 84 overall, I don't think he's ready just yet. So then I went ahead and spent 50 million on Pietro Comuzzo, one of the center backs that we do need. And well, let's just say I have 3 amazing shortlisted center backs. The first one being Alessandro Bastoni in his prime, as still at Inter. Second option is Gabriel, who's at a 90 overall, somehow playing at Villarreal. And the final option, of course, is William Saliba, 90 overall, just at 28, the youngest of the list. And the good news is all of them have accepted. They all want to play for Madrid. But who should we should go ahead and sign. And controversially, I was gonna go for Gabriel, but he rejected our wages. So in that case, I'm going for the Rolls Royce and William Saliba. He was my second option, and now at a 90 overall, he has to be the world's best center back. Sucks for Gabriel. I was gonna save him from Villarreal. And I can't lie, in our 4.5 seasons here at Madrid, this might be the best lineup we have cooked up. Surely we have the chance of winning the treble as of this season. But boys, after the first game of the season, there's terrible news as Trent has gotten an ACL injury and will be ready in 10 months. That is not good. Now boys, we can go ahead and easily sign a replacement like the likes of Achraf Hakimi or Reece James. We do have Academy graduate and Raul Asensio, and I think I'm gonna give him a chance. So he's going to be our starter for the rest of the season, but if he does not play well or grow enough, Trent will be back in the lineup or he will be replaced. And at the end of the season, we win La Liga once again, but we failed to win the Super Copa, and we lost the Copa de España against Villarreal. If they didn't have Gabriel, that wouldn't have happened. And the Champions League was won by Atletico de Madrid. What, man? As we got knocked out to them in the quarters. But there is good news as Mbappe has won another Golden Boot, his third of his career here, by 1 goal over Haaland. We now have 3 Golden Boots, only 2 more, and we complete that challenge. We're still far away from a treble and the Invincible season. But it's another brilliant season from Mbappe, 40 goals and 13 assists. Nico Paz has his breakout year. Endrick, Bellingham, and Enzo all having great years. And the growth of this team just continues to amaze me. Raul Asensio went all the way up to an 86. You know what? He might be our permanent starter now. But the rest of the defensive backline is now above a 90. Enzo Fernandez is 1 overall behind a 90, while almost everybody else is hitting that number. But did Kylian Mbappe win his second Ballon d'Or? And yes, he has. He wins his second Ballon d'Or. We're now tied once again with Barcelona. And boys, to kick off season number 5, there's a problem. Kylian Mbappe is injured. It was a World Cup year. Please don't be for long. Come on, Kylian Mbappe, don't be out for a very long time. And it's an ACL injury. Able to play in 9 months. Just like Trent, he's out for the whole season. This is not good. And boys, I'm sorry, Gonzalo Garcia is not good enough to start. We're gonna have to bring in another striker as Kylian Mbappe comes into my office and says, look boss, I'm sorry that I got injured, but I really do back this team to continue on without me. Go ahead and bring in another striker, and I'll be back in a season's time ready to fight for my place. And boys, I have gone ahead and found 3 different options. The first option is the chance to bring in Rodrigo. Still 29 at an 87 overall. If y'all remember, a couple years ago, he said he needs to leave Madrid for now, but he might want to come back. The second option is a player in his prime in Alexander Isak. This would mean when Mbappe comes back, either Endrick Mbappe or Isak himself will be sitting on the bench. And the final one might be the best one. Someone like Ousmane Dembele could come in for just 1 season only, and Mbappe could come back and have his place. Who should we go for, man? And I actually decided on neither of the 3 players. As for 120 million, I'm taking the huge risk and bringing in Hugo Ekitike. This guy is going into his prime, 88 overall at just 28. We don't know if Mbappe is going to come back the same player, so I'm not taking any risks here. Boys, Hugo Ekitike has joined the lineup. I'm very nervous on having a full season without the world's best player, Kylian Mbappe. And Endrick has filled Mbappe's boots with 31 goals and 3 assists. Jude Bellingham with another incredible year, 16 and 20 for Nico Paz and even Hugo Ekitike getting amongst the goals. And boys, I love to say it, but everybody in the 11 is now at a 90 overall, but Raul Asensio. And the good news is Mbappe is now back, but he went down on -3. But the question is, how are we gonna line him up now with Hugo Ekitike in the side? We'll find out next season. And we went ahead and won La Liga, but not undefeated yet. But no, we failed to win the Copa de España. No treble this year. We actually won the Super Copa. That's great news. And boys, we're in the Champions League final again. The chance to win our second, I believe so. But no Mbappe means no Golden Boot, man. Julian wins it this time around. But the question is, can we go ahead and win the Champions League? As I did put Mbappe back in the lineup for this final, and it's a 4-0 victory. As Endrick, Nico Paz, and Enzo gets a double to win us another UCL. And yes, boys, we have gotten another Ballon d'Or winner in Hugo Ekitike. I don't know where his face went. We take the lead over Barcelona. And boys, we are now in season number 6, and I can't lie, I was thinking of selling Hugo Ekitike because his 15 goals didn't impress me too much. But the fact that he won the Ballon d'Or speaks that he was incredible on the pitch. So now the problem is, how do we fit him into the starting 11? And to be honest, there's only one solution, and that is the 4-3-3 attack. I know it seems like a little bit of backtracking, but you have to remember all those years ago, Mbappe and Vinny loved to play off the left, and that's why I originally switched the formation. so nobody would be on the left. But I cannot lie, boys, this can work. Mbappe can go to his favorite position, Ekitike can play up top, and Endrick has played on the right before. The only problem that does occur is that Nico Paz or Jude Bellingham would have to play at the 10, and one of them has to be dropped, or the likes of Camavinga would also have to be dropped. I'm gonna have to go ahead and run it by our captain Bellingham. So I bring in Bellingham to the office. I tell Jude, look, I have a brilliant idea to have all the best players in the squad, and I don't think our performance will drop. Jude says, don't worry about it, boss. I back you 100%. I don't mind playing as the number 8 or the number 6. I'll let Nico Paz shine as I'm now getting older, and I just want to do what's best for the team. So, boys, it looks like Jude Bellingham thinks it's going to be great. I hope nobody else gets upset. However, something we must take into account is Slotterbeck is now 31. Hopefully, Lenny Yoro or Kamuzo can start growing. That way, we don't have to sign another superstar center back. However, I just realized Carrera doesn't have anybody to back up. So, let's go ahead and buy a left back real quick. So, for exactly 100 million, I'm bringing in 87 overall Miles Lewis-Skelly, who was playing at Bournemouth for some reason. Alvaro Carreras has some competition. So, now with Lewis-Skelly backing up Alvaro Carreras, let's see if this brand new formation works. If not, we'll solve all those issues next season. And hopefully very soon we can go invincible, but more importantly, win the treble. Because with only 5 seasons left, there's a huge chance I fail at Madrid. But no, this time around, Atletico win the La Liga title, which means the treble is not on, man. And of course, we did not go invincible. But at least we beat Barcelona in the Supercopa. And no, we failed to win the Copa de España. Are we really not gonna win any cool trophies? And the Champions League was won by Newcastle United, as they knocked us out in the semis. Every time we haven't won the trophy, we were knocked out by somebody who won it. But yes, Kylian Mbappe is back, 46 goals and 12 assists. But Endrick had the best season of his career, 32 and 11. Ekitike, 27 goals. It looks like in a goal-scoring sense, this new formation is really working. And just take a look at this side. Everybody is continuing to grow, as everyone barring Endrick is at a 90 overall. Come on, Endrick, you're one away. And yes, Mbappe has kind of done it. He has technically won the Golden Boot alongside Robin Mirisola. I think that counts. That means we win our 4th Golden Boot. We have one left to complete that challenge. And of course, a Newcastle player in Estaval has won the Ballon d'Or, which still means we have the lead over Barcelona, as we still need to win the treble and go undefeated. And we've arrived in season number 7, and our team is just the best in the world. And like I said, Slotterbeck is getting up there in age, but it's still at 92 overall. I think this is the year, though, that we give Lenny Yoro the chance to be starting every game. He's about to enter his prime. We want him to be ready for when Slotterbeck is done. However, our best player in Kylian Mbappe has walked into my office and said, look, boss, I've enjoyed my time at Real Madrid. I just won the World Cup this summer. I think this is my last season in Madrid. I want to go ahead and go to Saudi Arabia after the season is done. So go ahead and start looking for replacements out there in the transfer market. Thank you for everything. And boys, Mbappe is right. He did go down to -1 overall. I'm so thankful for everything he's done. It's going to be sad to see him go. However, another player has walked into my office, and it's Franco Masantuono. He says, boss, I've loved my time here at Real Madrid, and I've heard Mbappe is going to be leaving. Take this whole season to think about it. I want to go ahead and try myself at left winger once Mbappe leaves. And boys, it's going to be very interesting. Masantuono has been a good servant here at Madrid. At 24 years old, hasn't really been a starter. I'll have a think around that. And yes, boys, we have done it. We have gone undefeated. 0 losses. We have gone invincible with Real Madrid. And we also win the Supercopa. But no, Real Betis won the Copa de España, as we got knocked out to Getafe, man. Come on. And no, boys, Barcelona have won the Champions League. Surely that means a Barca player will win the Ballon d'Or and equalize the record. But wait a minute, boys. Mbappe has won the final Golden Boot. That's 5. That's what I wanted. Maybe in his final season, he denies Haaland or Yamal of the Ballon d'Or. But regardless, it was a beautiful season from Mbappe. 40 and 13. He will be gone from the club next season. But shout out to Endrick, who's keep going strong, Ekitike as well, and Jude Bellingham and Nico Paz. And yup, the squad just continues to grow, as Lenny Yoro was about to hit that 90. I think he's ready to replace Slotterbeck. And no, boys, Lamine Yamal has won the Ballon d'Or. Mbappe has been robbed in his final season. And before going into the new year, Mbappe comes back to the office and says, boss, once again, thank you for everything. I low-key should have won the Ballon d'Or there, but it's okay. But if I could ask you for one more favor, give Franco Masantuono a chance to play him at left wing spot. I've been training him all season. I think he's ready. And now in season number 8, there goes Kylian Mbappe joining Al Nassr. Go get your bag, man. You should have had that last Ballon d'Or. If I didn't mention it before, that does equalize Barcelona with us in Ballon d'Ors. Are we going to be able to topple them? So, of course, we now have to find a replacement for Mbappe. But I think I'm granting Kylian's wish, as Masantuono is now a left winger at an 88 overall. But you know what? If Mbappe sees something in him, then he's probably right. And Masantuono comes to my office and says, thank you, boss. Thank you. You're not going to regret it. Let's go ahead and have a super season in honor of Mbappe. And you know what? Mbappe was right. 22 goals and 9 assists in his first season at left wing is brilliant. But shout out to Endrick, man, for taking the mantle with 45 goals, 29 for Ekitike, 24 for Jude Bellingham, as he just missed out so far on the 99 overall. And this team is just the best in world football. Some of these players have blown expectations. Even Nico Paz, I didn't think he'd be this good. But when it comes to La Liga, we have won it again by 2 points over Barca. We also won the Supercopa. And yes, we have won the Copa de España. The treble is on. And when it comes to the Champions League, we finished in first place. And in the round of 16, we destroyed Newcastle. We absolutely destroyed Mönchengladbach. And we have destroyed PSV. And we're facing Sporting de Portugal in the final of the Champions League. It's the Ronaldo derby, man. But the question is, can we finally do it? Can we complete the treble and fix Real Madrid 8 seasons in? And then, yes, it's a 4-3 victory. Aspas, Endrick, and Ekitike gets a double to win us that treble. And Endrick has won the Ballon d'Or. What a story from him, man. Merry Christmas. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to click on the screen and watch me make Neymar a Barcelona Academy graduate and finally win them a Ballon d'Or.